Hello, I'm Dee, this is Pete.
Hello.
An hour of bliss together, balance practice. We're going to start on our backs in a supported bridge, but with butterfly legs. So when you're ready, come onto your back. It is useful if you have a bolster, but if you don't have a bolster, you can utilize a couple of pillows or a rolled up blanket. You want to bring the bolster underneath your hips, or whatever you're utilizing as a prop, that is, underneath your hips. And then bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall out wide. Close your eyes down, whatever's comfortable with your arms. And you can bring in some more props here if you have them at home with you. So you can bring in an eye pillow or a towel over your eyes is always nice. Weight bags for your hips or for your thighs if you want to intensify the stretch in the hips. See if you can block out as many distractions as possible. Don't worry if the kids are out playing or if there's a little bit of turbulence in the house. See if you can just kind of block that out for the next 60 minutes. But stuff's always going to be there. There's always going to be some form of distraction. Our yoga practice teaches us or gives us tools to help us dive into a state of deep consciousness regardless of what's going on around us or what's going on in the mind. And it's such a gift, it's so powerful. I know even myself of late, we've had some dramas happening in our life, and my meditation practice has been so poignant right now because I can't stop the emotions and the thoughts and the fears and the worries, but I can just leave them alone and not focus on them and dive into a place of stillness and peace and calm that is right now and that is always there for us to tap into. We just need to choose where we want to send our focus. Do we want to send it to the dramas? Or do we want to send it to the depths of the ocean of consciousness that is meditation? I encourage you, choose the path of meditation. And for this practice, give yourself the gift. Dive in. Dive into the stillness that is always there. Last breath here. Lift your knees up, feet flat to the floor, and then use your feet against the floor to lift your hips and the arms or your hands to push the bolster forward. So now the bolster comes underneath your knees, and just lie there flat for a moment. We're not going to use them just yet, but it's useful if you have your balls, your myofascial release balls handy. If you don't have them, don't worry, you can just do the pose. Place your left foot on the bolster, knee to the sky, and then your right ankle, cross it over the top of your left knee. Right hand, push against the right knee, and just hold that there for a moment. You might not feel a great deal, you might feel a lot. Just let the hip open up into that rotation. Create some muscle activation to intensify the stretch through the hip, if you like. By pushing that right knee away, you're going to feel the right hip kind of push away as well. So if you engage the right side of your body, your torso, not the hip, but your right side body, and try and pull the hip back into the hand, then you'll notice the stretch will go deeper into some muscles in your glute. Or some muscle fibers, I should say, in your glute. And then slowly release that. We're going to do that again, but just release that for a moment. Place your right foot on the bolster as well. Grab your balls. So your 2 tennis balls, your 2 myofascial release. If you don't have them, then you're just going to do that same thing again. 1 ball either side of the small of your back, either side of your spine at your lower back. So not on the rib cage and not on your hips. You want to stay away from the bony butt parts. Just at the small of your back. Now you might need to adjust these once we get back into the pose. And so we're going to do that again. Your right ankle on top of your left hip. Hips stay on the floor, and then you push that right knee away with the right hand, whilst the balls are massaging into your lower back. As I said, you might feel like you need to move the balls. Maybe just hold this for a few more breaths, just see if you notice any releases. And then if you might want to move the balls up a little bit higher or down a little bit lower, go for it. Have a bit of an explore. We're here for another 3 minutes. The myofascial release practice is very much a practice of sensation, which the mind governs. But it's also a technique that we use, a tool that we use to focus the mind. Focus on the sensation of touch, without creating a story or a drama around it, just noticing. We do that, it's called mindfulness. We do that with our eating as well, noticing the food, the flavors, the textures, like really concentrating on the sensation that's happening. It's what the mindfulness movement's all about. And it's a tool to focus the mind So then we can dive in deeper to that meditative experience that is the ocean of consciousness. Regardless of what's happening in the mind and what its focus is on, there is always a quiet stillness that resides in the background. That's the stillness of the true self. That's what we call our buddhi, our awakened mind. When we tap into that place, we become the witness to the turbulence, distractions, and fluctuations of the mind. That place of witness is a place of real clarity. Because we're unaffected by the turbulence of the superficial mind. I like Pema Chodron's analogy that you are the sky, everything else is just the weather. So the stillness, when you look at a crystal clear blue sky, there's so much peace and calm and tranquility. But then you see a passing cloud, or maybe, passing thunderstorm, multiple clouds, they're our thoughts, our emotions, our distractions, and they pass. That stillness of the blue sky in the background is always there, and it's never gone. Even at night time, it's always there. Slowly release that right leg, let the right foot fall back to the bolster, and just stay here for a moment, leave the balls where they are. Now move the balls out from underneath again, and you're going to do the left side. Keep the balls handy. Left ankle, right knee. Left hand pushes against the the left knee, sorry. And just hold it there. And you might not feel a great deal, but there is actually a great deal going on. So just let time unravel it. As you concentrate, focus, and dive in. Dive into the stillness that is always there in the background. There's gaps in the clouds and you can see the crystal clear blue sky. You want to engage that side muscle. It's your QL, your quadratus lumborum, and your obliques that kind of pull the hip up into the hand, or the knee will come into the hand. And then you'll notice once we do place the balls, that's the target area. Slowly release, bring the left foot back to the bolster. Grab the balls again, place them underneath the small of your back. Just hold there for a moment, make sure they're in around the right spot. Know that you can adjust them. And then replace the left ankle, right knee. Hips stay on the floor. Left hand pushes against that left knee. Balls massage into that lower back. Let your belly relax. Last breath. Release that, but keep the balls where they are. So place your left foot back on the bolster. Now we're going to cross the left leg again. You can either cross it half or full way over. The left ball is probably going to roll away, so you might want to take the left ball out from underneath. You're going to drop your knees over to the right. You're going to keep that ball, the right ball, the ball on the right hand side where it is. And keep your bolster where it is too. Maybe keep your feet on the bolster. Roll yourself over. You might need to adjust the ball because it might roll a little bit too far for you. But you want your knees, so the left leg's on top. Knees go over to the right. We're going to keep the legs, but change it over to the other side in a few minutes. And utilise the ball at the same time. Again, like I said, you might need to adjust it. Just do whatever you need to do. Close your eyes. Again, if you don't have a ball, just do the shape of the pose. We call this our twisted roots. So your legs are twisted, left leg on top of right. And then the legs are dropped over to the right. They're either completely on the floor, you can do it like I'm doing with your feet on the bolster. You can move the bolster out the way completely and just have your legs on the floor. You can have your knees closer to your chest. Depends on your bone structure. And then if you're utilising the balls especially, it depends on your tissues. Remember, throughout the course of this practice, it's the crystal clear blue sky, the analogy that Pema uses, or the depths of the ocean is another analogy. That's what we're tapping into. Even if it's just for a split second. And remember, with this practice, sometimes less is more. I know I like to go hard, especially with my myofascial release, but sometimes being a little bit more gentle gives me more opportunity to tap into the stillness that's beyond the senses. Especially that sense of myofascial release. Thank you. Now you're going to replace or bring the knees back through center slowly. Keep the legs as they are though, the left leg crossing on top of the right. Replace the left ball to the left side and you're going to drop your knees over to the left but remaining this way crossed. So again, you might need to adjust, you might need to move the right ball so you don't lose it unless you've got a confined space and it won't go very far. But you want to drop your knees over to the left and leave the ball in that left side wherever it's suitable for you. I like to adjust the ball out of the small of the back into the left glute. Up to you. having said that, at any point if you need to stay, then feel free to stay and just catch up with us later. Slowly lift your knees back to center. Keep the left ball on the left side. So if you moved it to your glute, bring it back to your lower back, the small of your back. Unravel your legs and swap it over. So right leg's going to go on top of left now, and we're going to go to the left again first. So the left ball stays. Drop the knees over to the left and then adjust the ball as you need to. And if you get it in the right spot, you'll feel a great deal of sensation. Once you take a few breaths into that sensation, then dive in deep. Deep into the stillness that is always in the background. Slowly back through center. We're going to swap the side of the twist, but we're not going to swap the legs. So it means you'll have to swap the ball. Bring the ball to the right side, shift the knees to the right, keeping the right leg on top. Find that rotation and stay there for at least a moment. So you can settle in. If you need to adjust where the ball is, then do that for yourself. I offered the first side, if you want to change the ball to the glute, if you feel that's appropriate, then go for it. As always, if you need a bit more time, then by all means take it. Otherwise, unravel your legs, bring them back to center, bring the body back to center. Move the ball out the way and just let your legs fall over the bolster, let them go long. Let the whole body relax now. Come up into butterfly. So slowly help yourself up to a seated position. It's just soles of feet together, knees out wide, leaning forward. What props you use and the shape, the exact shape of your legs is completely up to you. So let your knees fall out wide. If you want to bring weight bags in to help give your knees or your hips a little bit more opening, you can bring the heels in closer or have them further away. You can use your bolster on an angle to lean in, or you can just let it fall and lean your body as far forward as your hips will allow. Tuck in your chin at the very end. You'll get a bit of nerve tensioning. Close your eyes and dive in. My own personal experience, that connection to the stillness that is always there. offers a profound sense of peace, and even if you only have a glimpse of it, the benefits are instant. It's also the place of infinite creativity, where lots of ideas are born. It's a place of just knowing what it is that you want and how to get it. It's a level of intelligence, higher intelligence that's beyond the mind, the intellectual mind. From my own personal experience as well, the mind searches for it, desires that deep connection. But through desiring and that searching, we don't find, because it's beyond the mind. So we have to surrender the mind. We have to notice, okay, the mind's clinging, attaching, or averting. Creating stories or dramas, and just kind of let it be, and then step into the witness state. Watch it. And eventually you'll go deeper and deeper and deeper until you find that state of peace and calm, and even if it's just a moment in time. It is eternal, infinite, and illuminating. Last breath. Slowly straighten out the spine. You're going to keep your right leg bent in and just extend your left leg out to the side, not out in front, out to the side. And keep your weight bag on that right leg if you like. Bring your bolster over to the left side, or your prop, whatever you're utilising. You can draw the heel in nice and close to the groin now if you can, and you're just going to turn your torso, your shoulders, over towards the bolster. You might like to lift the bolster onto your leg, or if you have a block, you might like to prop it up a little bit. And you're just going to fold yourself over sort of forward but side. So you'll feel a stretch down this right side of your body, back side of your body. Last breath. Slowly unravel the spine, just straighten out. Spend a moment here. We're going to swap it straight over to the other side. So bring the bolster over to the right. Extend the right leg out to the side and draw the left leg in. Place any props that you used. And then remember, you want to keep your hips open. You're just going to turn your shoulders over towards that right leg. And then it doesn't matter if your head's just hovering off the bolster, arms resting there. As you lean over that right leg, you'll feel the stretch through the left side back body. You might even notice referral sensation of stretch into the shoulder, into the hip, even around into the belly. Everything's connected. Notice any turbulence, but go beyond it. slowly let your spine straighten out. And then we're going to do just one more. So you could either take our butterfly again, like we did before, or you can take caterpillar. So you bring your legs over the bolster and lean forward. You can bring more props in again, or you can take the soles of feet together, knees wide version. Whatever you prefer, just lean in and dive in. Got 5 more breaths. This is going to take you into the final rest pose, and you don't have to do a stock standard Shavasana. You can take anything you want. So child's pose, Balasana, waterfall, Viparita Karani. You can lay on your belly, on your side. If you want to take some extra myofascial release work with the block, occipital release, base of the skull, or anywhere through the back, then go for it. This is your opportunity to dive in the deepest.
Deepak Chopra teaches that meditation is not a way of making your mind quiet. It's a way of entering into the quiet that is already there, buried under the 50,000 thoughts the average person thinks every day. The mind is a machine, constantly processing, and it will continue to do that. Meditation is going beyond that, beyond the clouds in the sky, beyond the turbulence at the surface of the ocean. Gently start to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. You might like to just roll the head out, maybe a stretch. And then as you're ready, you're going to help yourself up to a seated position. You can roll over onto a side, either side. Stay there for just a moment. And finding that comfortable seat with palms together at heart center. Closing with that deep connection of Om, the vibration of the entire cosmos. Taking your breath. Thumbs to third eye center, we bow. My soul honors your soul. When we're deep in the ocean of consciousness, we are one. Together we say Namaste. Namaste. We hope you have an awesome rest of your day today. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon. Bye.